And now we go live to Venezuela to broadcast statements and the press brief of the President of the Venezuelan National Assembly, Jorge Rodríguez.
Incorporar al diplomático venezolano Alex Saab como miembro pleno de esta delegación, de la delegación.
We incorporate Alex Saab as a member of this delegation, of the government delegation. So we would like to inform as well
el diplomático venezolano Alex Saab como delegado pleno también, con plenas
that Alex Saab is also incorporated as a delegate
en el acuerdo parcial de atención al pueblo de Venezuela firmado en México el pasado día lunes. Alex Saab tiene más de 400 días secuestrado.
Alex Saab has been 400 days kidnapped in a foreign prison, which violates all international laws and agreements, all human rights. And this punishment that he has endured was imposed because he fulfilled his duties that we mentioned in this in the negotiations in Mexico. He was trying to obtain food, medicines for the people of Venezuela in the middle of the U.S. blockade and U.S. sanctions against our country. This caused tremendous anger amongst our people, because in order to sort out the criminal blockade and in order to search the medicines, the food that our people requires, that our government has managed to supply the people. That's why he is what he suffered these human rights violations and this prison time. Therefore, we consider Alex Saab is completely 100% in capacity to fulfill these obligations, to be a member of the Venezuelan delegations. We're going to answer a few questions now. What you have been saying so far, there is another part of this, which is the United States government, and as well the Cape Verde authorities. Do you think all this could be left behind? We're going to inform our mediators from Norway and also we're going to inform the opposition sector, the head of the opposition sector. We're going to inform them this decision. Good afternoon. I want to ask you your opinion about the Chamber of Commerce in the United States, what they have been said about the unilateral sanctions against Venezuela, and what they have been said about the meetings between the government and the opposition sectors. The coercive and unilateral measures, that so-called sanctions, are criminal. Are also sanctions against the opposition sectors, against women, men, all the Venezuelan people. They don't respect ideologies. These are truly violations of the international law they have also been ineffective. They have bribed themselves to do business with us due to these sanctions against the Venezuelan people. We bring the results of these sanctions against our people to the dialogues in Mexico. We even bring a letter that was signed by one of our officials explaining these atrocities and these difficulties because of the sanctions. In the next dialogues that we were going to have in Mexico, we are also talking in depth about these sanctions and the difficulties they have brought to our people.
Fíjense lo que acaba de pasar con Monómero, se lo robó Duque, se lo robó. Y su cómplice Juan Guaidó hace
And
silencio.
Juan Guaidó is just silent about this.
¿Quién controla los fondos que ha sacado Monómero?
Who controls the money that has been thrown out by the banks? Who controls this? Nobody. These millions and millions of dollars that goes to the secret accounts of Juan Guaidó's brother, Leopoldo López's brother, millions of dollars. And there's a single medicine or food that hasn't get to Venezuela. Not even a single vaccine. They have stolen all the money. We're going to Mexico next time with all the evidence about the damages caused by these sanctions against Venezuela. That violates international. President, I want to ask you specifically about the admittance of Alex Saab to these negotiations. Taking into consideration what the United States have been said about trial, making a trial against Alex Saab. I want to also to ask if the vaccine has been treated during the negotiations. During this second trial negotiations in Mexico, we brought the vaccine and what have been done in Venezuela about this. And we proved how Venezuela have done the impossible and have managed to get enough vaccines to vaccinate the population. And right now, our country have the capacity to vaccinate the people and to reach the herd immunity. This is a good news, but it haven't been a really good news because of this nonsense that the United States have been said about us.
La República Bolivariana de Venezuela por esa vía, y así lo demostramos en la reunión pasada en la Ciudad de México. En efecto, vamos a instalar esta mesa social.
We're going to install this table, and Alex Saab is going to be part of this negotiation. In the next few hours, we're going to address the rest of the delegation. I'm also to participate in this. We are going to proceed so Venezuela can acquire the money and all the properties that belongs to the Venezuelan people, established by the Venezuelan Constitution.
Ese cuento de monómero, Citgo, tenía una sola intención, que era robarse esas empresas. Ya se las robó Duque, se las robó, y lo vamos a llevar a la mesa de México. ¿Cómo explican que Iván Duque se apropió?
How do you explain that Iván Duque just own an enterprise that has been an enterprise for the Venezuelan people since 47 years ago? So how do you explain that Leopoldo travels all around the world, that can rent airplanes? How do you explain the money for that? Who can explain the money that the United States has been given to Guaido? They have used part of this money to run coups against governments. But they have stolen this money too. We are going to bring these topics to the negotiations in Mexico. Alex Saab is not in jail in Cape Verde. He's kidnapped in this place. Since 400 days ago, violating the Vienna Convention without any arrest warrant against him, without any medical assistance, and without respecting his guarantee as a diplomat from Venezuela. When he was kidnapped, he was traveling to acquire medicines for the Venezuelan people, and to acquire food, a thing that it's very difficult for the government of Venezuela. I'm going to put an example. To buy remdesivir, which is a medicine used against COVID-19 from mild and severe patients, the medicines the remdesivir we acquire, we have to allocate it in 5 planes in order to get to Venezuela. These criteria that food and medicines in Venezuela are not imposed by any sanctions is just not true. What happened with Alex Saab is a proof of this. We prove in Mexico how the Venezuelan government managed to move the money to use it for the operations of children and the Venezuelan people in general. How the difficulties the government have to endure to do this. This is a matter of the whole country. This is a theme that belongs to all of us. The money of Venezuela is from Venezuela, not from Iván Duque, not anyone else. Thank you very much.